Hello, so what is third house in astrology? I shall talk about that today. What does third house mean in astrology? Well, usually, this is like kind of my own, new beliefs. I don't think any of the former schools of astrology has discussed this, but this is about learning and understanding specifically speech, which two kinds. The the speech that leads to unity and concord of between two people or especially friends, and the other one is non-abusive speech. So third house is very different from the 7 and the 11. 11 is more towards romantic exhilarating relationships or the people that you're fundamentally attracted to, at least in this life. Whereas for seventh house is basic requisites, the four basic requisites, and safeguarding of other people's lives and such. Charity is one of them, obviously. So this is very important. So for seven, it was life. For 11, it was people that you're really attracted to and feel excited about, you know, interacting together. Whereas the third house is about specifically speech, about unity speech and non-abusive speech. So the second part is that everyone has a different sign when it comes to what sign of theirs falls under the third house. So it would imply that most likely when approaching certain topics or people, you would naturally be more compassionate about you know bringing people to unity or not. People when people like being bullied, like certain people with different qualities of being bullied, you probably stand up for them and using speech to like just ward the enemies off, right? So something like Gemini is about analyzing what kinds of speech is abusive and not abusive, what kinds of speech is causing discord, not discord app, not the app discord, like discord, like snitch on people. Yeah, unity speech, concord speech, like snitch speech and does not snitch on people, or betrayal, not betrayal, but speeches that causes betrayal, right? If it's something like Libra, you would usually unite, praise, or help stand up for people that who want to like maybe be more like you know you know give good cause and help, like something like help protecting turtles, reserving turtles, wildlife. I don't know about tigers, but obviously turtles, something like injured birds, like injured, maybe injured dogs too. Anything that life gets sick or something, like you would help people stand up to opposing, like opposing the opposing squad of not wanting to care much, right? So Libra is about life, right? Helping bring unity between people about cherishing life. Gemini, analyzing, bringing people to unity to analyze what is the best way to avoid abusive speech and speech that causes snitching. If it's something like Pisces or Scorpio, probably people tell you that you're smart, or like you tell people that they're smart, they're intuitive, they're very like they understand the things. If it's Pisces, something like behind the scenes, like more like artistic and imagination and dreams. If it's Scorpio, behind the scenes of like a lot of dark stuff, but like you don't endanger yourself, and then you tend to naturally praise other people that are smart if you have a water sign in your third house. So what happens if one of your planets happens to fall under your third house? Something like Saturn, for example, which is a more like Earth-based planet. Probably something like you kind of reserve tradition when it comes to how you treat unity speech and non-abusive speech. You tend to be more towards like um, very reserved tradition. You tend to respect your elders or whatever people you feel like it is deserve respect or many people respect, so you follow it, which is good, don't get me wrong. But I have a moon in, not moon, oh yeah, my Saturn's in the ninth house, so basically my moon is in my third house, yes. So basically this is a good trait when it's Saturn in the third house, but you're not grasping what following the speech of unity and um, speech of non-abusiveness really mean, right? There's a lot of nuances. I don't naturally understand it that much, but I have some experience. That's why, it kind of reflects on the Saturn knife, and now like it reflects into a pseudo moon third on my own chart. So, if you want to know, I can tell you. You can contact me privately. I can let you know what I think about the speech of unity and uh, what is actually not abuse, right? That I can grapple the essence. So this ties into the water planets really well. If either Neptune, Moon, or Pluto is in your third house, I think I also have like Chiron, but I don't really respect Chiron as much because it's harder to, because it's a new planet. The people tend to be um, really feel like very awkward, like very repulsive about a new system, especially because we already have a Pluto. So okay, let's put that aside though. If your moon, Pluto, or Neptune is in your third house, then that means when it comes to speech of unity and uh, abuse and bullying, like speech wise, not something like physical abuse. Physical abuse is more towards the seventh house. Emotional abuse and speech abuse, you tend to go to grapple the essence pretty well. Like you tend to really know what the root of the problem is, and you tend to tackle it really well. If you can that one, do that. But remember, people not, you know, be aware. People might not always want to be helped. Like for me, even if in like 5 or 6 times, it's like brief moments, like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. I don't want to be helped sometimes, so like just let it be. Sometimes if you don't feel like you can help them, if you can help them, they want to be help them. You're if you're like if you have any water plants or like even 2 or 3 in your third house, that is a really good thing when it comes to investigating like or identifying the root problem. You tend to have a really sharp mind when it comes to like you know identifying is there might be abuse speech wise, or like people you might be able to very keen and very acute on if people are snitching on other people. For example, something like maybe like um something like no Aquarius, right? If people are like, this is why, okay, never mind. um let's say exhilarating or romantic relationships, you tend to can you can kind of really know, be very acute about, okay, this might actually be a very very big problem in the future, when you can like forms like speech abuse, or um, maybe the husband and wife snitch on each other or something. So you have that kind of qualities if you have any water planets in your third house. If you have any wind planets in your third house, you tend to have a lot more calming and soothing presence when it comes to using your words to form like unity and like avoiding abuse. If it's something like fire planets, you maybe be more a little bit more like like you tend to be a little bit less like concerning about other people. But when you allow people, when you truly wanted to unite people and you know help other people stand up to from being abused speech wise, you tend to be really honest and open and vulnerable, and you tend to be really, like, you tend to put a lot of energy into it, which is a good thing sometimes, because without energy we wouldn't really, know, achieve things. Like, knowing how to do it is also important, but like having the energy to do it is actually pretty good as well, and it's in certain ways. So keep that in mind. You need to control that fire, but controlling that fire will be really good, a valuable thing, because this will give you the energy to really, you know avoid people from abuse, or preventing people, like, if you see the dangers coming, you can prevent people from snitching other people. Okay, so lastly, I think I don't need to over explain this or repeat this, but anything, as if you have any planets in your ninth house, it will put it will basically form a pseudo opposite planet energy in your third house. For example, something like Moon is in your ninth house, and then Saturn is in your third house, etc., etc. So this is the end for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.